Two mates, one obsession, cars. We're here to talk, drive, and occasionally bin it in the name of automotive passion. From dream garages to the latest car news, this is the Ditch Finders Podcast.
Episode 28, believe it or not.
Wow.
Flying through
the
now.
big 3-0.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Ditch Finders Podcast. We're going to talk some cars.
Different story for a change.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about August. You got much going on with cars in August? Obviously, we had a busy July. We had Goodwood. It kind of dominated July.
Yeah.
How's August looking for you?
August is looking pretty quiet on the car front. I've got Devon at the end of August, so I'll take the M2 down to that. But that is about it. And to be honest, the journey now to Devon's not that exciting, is it really? But it's still cool seeing your car at the beach, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got a similar sort of thing. I'll go down next week to Cornwall. So
Yes.
that'll be nice.
Okay. I remember you saying about this, yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday, go down to
So
Cornwall.
you're taking the Jag?
Yeah, taking the Jag. It's kind of a good
Nice.
excuse to go do a trip because it'll be the first I've been in it so far.
First
is
one,
Goodwood.
Yeah. Goodwood, of course.
So that'd be nice. So this Sunday I've got a little cars and coffee thing that you had to bail out of.
Afraid so.
So that should be quite good. So I'll update you on that on the next episode. I'm quite looking forward to that, actually. I think
It's kind of the unknown of not knowing what's going to be turning up.
Yeah, and I got really excited about it. I was like, this is actually what I love about cars, is to kind of like meeting up people, going for coffee, going for a little spin, seeing different cars, talking cars, and it's just going to kind of be just like a bit of a gents morning, Sunday morning drive, and I'm like, actually, we need to do more of that, so I'm quite looking forward to that.
Definitely.
And then a bit of a curveball. So I'm going to go do the trip in the Jag in Cornwall. I'm then going to come back, and I think I'm going to list it for sale.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
There's loads of reasons why. And it's kind of might have make more sense now. I've asked those questions sent those questions over to you for us to talk about later, but there's loads to it. Yeah, so it might seem a bit out of nowhere, but it's not a sad story. Like, I love the car. There's actually nothing wrong with the car. It is amazing. I can't fault it for what it's like a breakup story. It's not the car, it's me.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. It's a bit of an odd one. I guess it could be slightly deeper if you want it to be, if we want to go slightly on a tangent. And I've realized that I'm not chasing validation through cars anymore. And it's not to say that was the only reason why I bought the Jag, because it definitely wasn't. But same with the Porsche, same with other cars I've had in the past or strived for or wanted. There's definitely like an element of it that maybe it's not necessarily the car that you want. You want to be the person that drives that car. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's an achievement thing. There's so much associated to it, isn't there? And cars are just more than cars for us. So there's quite a bit to it. But yeah, it's been quite a positive thing. It's quite nice to it not define my personality like cars often have done in the past. To go, I don't actually need that. I don't need a supercar or sports car or to chase validation, I guess, is probably one of the reasons, which is quite good because it means, I don't know whether it's maturity or I've just got a bit more self-confidence or I don't know what it is, but I felt more comfortable in myself when I had a car that represented me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What is that?
Now, yeah. And that's going to change depending on what stage you are in your life. And potentially that's part of it, So I think when you're younger, you kind of almost, you have the car that says something about you, made you either feel successful or interesting, or maybe people would like you or take you more seriously or whatever. You can go into it as much as you want, but it's probably quite common in your 20s to have that. And I think for me, it was like an obsession with getting the Jag. It was like this massive achievement. It was this like, that is the dream car within that bracket. And then I did it, and it sat on the drive. I'm like, what a car! It's so beautiful. It's amazing. But it's almost like, what's the next? Not for me now. What's the next thing? But it's like, well, when you've done it, do you then just have a new dream? Do you have like a new aspiration? Like, it's kind of this weird floaty thing. So yeah, been a bit of a weird couple of weeks really to come to that realization.
It's weird how it's just kind of sprouted up over the last few
a little bit. I've probably been thinking it for a bit, but it's like you're still like excited by having the car and hadn't really properly used it. And I think now that we've done Goodwood, now that it's quite nice for your brother to finally see it and Jake to go out in it. Now we're going to go do this Cornwall trip. I'm like, kind of, I'm happy. I'm really excited.
That's how you feel. That's the right thing. I mean, for example, this morning, it's funny you say that. Like, this morning I was driving to work, and one of the things I love about having a nice car is that it provides that daily reminder that you are. Do you mean with social media you can get really hyped up on what's next? Like, oh, I'm not earning enough. Oh, I could be earning more. Could be doing this and that. And it's that kind of daily reminder that you know what you got a decent. To the fact you've got a decent car and that's your passion proves that you are doing it right. Don't always need to chase the next thing. No. And so there's two ends of the spectrum in it, in a sense. And that's how I was feeling just this morning, saying, like, got to remind myself of what I've got, the car, the house, stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's not to say that I'll always have a nice car or a fast car or an expensive car.
No, and we're always going to have petrol head cars. Do you know what I mean? Like, we might go for a family car, but it'll be the most petrol head version of that. And it's not just because, and I think as well, I've had a bit of imposter syndrome in the Jag, believe it or not. And I don't know whether that's because of what it looks like or sounds like or the price point of it, but that's been an element. I had a bit of imposter syndrome. I think maybe like years ago, I probably would have thought like people seeing me in a nice car mattered, and now I really couldn't give a shit. So that's like an element of it. That's a massive element of it. I'm almost like not wanting to be seen in the Jag.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when you say imposter syndrome, is it that you don't feel you deserve it, or is it more that how I felt when I first turned up in my M2 to work? And it's not a crazy car to have my age anyway, by the way, but I just felt like a dick in a way.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know exactly how to describe the imposter syndrome. It's like, not that I shouldn't own the car, because I've worked really hard and saved up the money and bought the car, and it's everything I could possibly want from a car. But it seems so almost unnecessary. If I look at it like really practically, and I look at financial position and everything else, I'm like, I don't need a 30 grand car sat on the drive. Like, I'm thinking, could I get a cheap car and put some investments and what can I do to benefit me and, to enable me to buy a Ferrari in the future? Because having the cars now isn't going to help that, because they cost money to run as well. Whereas I could have a runabout for now, I can invest, it can make more money, and just sets yourself up for the future far better to have the things that you want, whether that be house or car or lifestyle, holidays, whatever, or just feeling comfortable, So there's that element to it as well. And also it's because of the way that I treat, wash, clean, service cars. Cars like that end up being really high maintenance for me, because
burden, isn't it?
It can't not be dirty, so I end up washing it twice a week. And then I'm just constantly worried about something not necessarily going wrong with it, because it's been really reliable and great, but if somebody's going to dink it or where I park it or like curbing the wheels or anything. I haven't done anything that hasn't had any problems. It's been great, but it's that kind of worry and high maintenance, or if something does go wrong, it's going to be a big bill. And I think I've had 3 2-seater sports cars in a row. I've done it, and I've had arguably 3 of the best 2-seater sports cars on the market, or have been on the market, with the F-Type, the Cayman, and an MX-5, all for their own reasons.
Respective categories, yeah.
Yeah, I've had some sports cars and I've enjoyed them. I've had some really good examples of sports cars as well. So
I already know what you're going to get next.
Go on.
It's going to be an old Defender.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
No, you too well.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. But
yeah, and that's a bucket list car for a different reason. That's like love to own that car. And actually, something that you said when you were looking at the M2, and it wasn't this forever car. It wasn't this. It was I'm going to want to own and experience different cars. The other thing is, I haven't got a garage at the moment. I could probably find somewhere in a unit to put the car, but I'd want to store it over the winter. I wouldn't want it out in the winter. So there's loads of different elements to it, but I think I feel like really like happy. I'm like glad and proud and all that I've managed to get to that point and own it. But yeah, kind of like, yeah, done it. Great. What's next?
Wow. So you'd be begging me for rides in my car?
Yeah, mate. I would have sold it a week later. I'd be like, oh my God, it's the biggest mistake of my life.
You will go through times like that, I'm sure. But yeah, it's how you feel, isn't it? In the long term benefits, but hopefully they outweigh the few seconds you get every now and then where you can put your foot down in it. But
well, I went swimming last night and Amy was out in her car, so I was like, I'll take the Jag. Why not? Go for a little spin down a couple of country roads. And I was like, this is such a fucking good car. I was like, it still puts it like, I'm not falling out with love with the car. There's none of that. There's nothing wrong with the car. It's amazing. Just kind of, yeah, done it.
Yeah.
It's weird. And I'm okay with that. And I'm like, actually
That's
really
fine.
happy. Weird.
Yeah. I thought you'd have had it. I didn't think it was going to be a forever car for you. I thought you'd have had it until at least next summer.
Yeah, I didn't.
It is a burden over the winter.
Yeah, I didn't even consider it when buying it. I just really wanted it. I wanted to tick that box, and yeah, I didn't ever consider. I didn't buy it with the consideration of selling it, and I'm not in a mad rush to sell it. I'll probably put it on Cars and Classic first, just because it's free, and then we'll go from there. I might whack it on Auto Trade if needs be, but I'm not that fussed. I might give it to one of my customers to do on sale or return, and not really that fussed. And if that takes the winter, then at least it's in storage then. So
yeah, true.
There's not much rush, but yeah, it was just a bit of a realization, and then kind of working out why, and actually realizing that actually it's okay. I don't. And I know, tell you what was another factor when I nicked my parents' Discovery 5 to go camping on the weekend, and I was like, holy shit, you actually don't need a sports car to enjoy a road trip. Yeah, and there's actually so many benefits to not being in a sports car, because there's so many drawbacks to being in a sports car. It's uncomfortable. It's, even though that's a fairly comfortable car, but it's definitely more uncomfortable than a Discovery 5 or Range Rover. Yeah, so it's uncomfortable. It's not practical. You can't really get much in there. So if you're going away for, like we were camping, there's no way you can go camping in that. And actually you can't use the car because most of the time the roads are too busy in the UK. They're badly surfaced. There's roadworks, or you've just got idiot drivers. That's how you end up becoming. I found that the last few times I've done a form of road trip in any sports car, I've just gotten more frustrated than I have actually enjoyed myself.
Yeah. Right,
so I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll just get a track car then. And I've got enough budget from the Jag to have a daily in, let's say, a Defender, and just constantly be breaking down and fixing it, and then have a little track car again. And then you've got none of those limitations, and you can just rag something. So that's where my mind's at the moment. How quickly this will all happen, but
yeah, it could all change in the week with you. But
that's true.
I respect the honesty, yeah, and just being satisfied with having owned it, and doesn't mean you need to keep it for 4 years to prove that you've had one.
Mate, it's still one of the best looking cars I see around. I can't stop looking at certain angles. It's the spec, everything. It's great. So yeah, I'm going to go do this little sports car run on Sunday. It should be really good. And get down to Cornwall. I'm really looking forward to taking it to Cornwall. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Keep your eyes out on Car and Classic.
Yeah.
If you fancy a jerk.
Big things coming.
Yeah, we'll see. I kind of fancy a little bit of a project as well, something I can work on. That.
Yeah. I really fancy like a 4x4 that I could do up and like take camping and stuff. Like, I'd love the idea of that, but obviously it's just about balancing everything you want.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. I've actually got a customer who's offered me a Defender 110 pickup. So it's like double cab, but with a pickup back. Yeah. Really nice. And it's almost at a price where it's like, can't really turn it down. So he tried offering me a year ago. They do like 1,000 miles in it a year. And it's just kind of there. And it's just, it gets MOT'd every year. And they're like, well, if you ever want it, just let me know. And I'm like,
really?
So yeah, that's an option.
bit of a tank in it. They're pretty long, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a 90 either. I mean, I'd be one of those wankers that puts nice leather seats in it and like a nice wooden steering wheel, put a heritage grill on
makes
it.
Everything it's not meant to be.
Yeah, just be like a right knobhead and turn it into this like Soho farmhouse spec'd like thing. But anyway, watch this space. We'll see what's going to happen with that. But yeah, that's kind of my twist and news, if you will.
Yeah,
and plans for August. So yeah, watch this space.
Wow, exciting. So I explained some of the questions that you sent me.
Yeah, so some of the questions were based on modern cars, social media. When does a car become part of your life story, if you will? Because they do. Cars in our world anyway are kind of, I look back at stages in life and I almost look at it through the lens of what car did I have at the time. You can like do that at the time.
A good way of pinpointing, yeah.
Yeah, and just general kind of debatable questions that we'll run through. But if you haven't got any more news or things going on in August, should we delve into JLR?
Yes.
Because we wanted to talk about them, didn't we? And just kind of, I did a bit of research. I got ChatGPT to do some research for me, as everyone does nowadays. To kind of look at JLR in 2026 as a snapshot, what's been going on over the last kind of 12, 24 months, where things are looking like they're going, where some kind of pressure and pain points, where are they doing well, if they are anywhere, what's new, what's going on. So I've actually got this really in-depth report, and I'm going to try not like go through too much of it in detail, but there's lots and lots of points. But if you want to go through what you've got first, I know you wanted to talk about some of the new models coming up.
Yeah, so I definitely haven't done as much research as you, so we'll see if what I say
Neither have I. It's all ChatGPT.
Okay. It's all wrong anyway then.
Yeah.
So because it was weird really, because I think we were both thinking along the same lines, and I said to you earlier that why don't we do like a bit of a JLR special, or at least talk about JLR, because they've just launched the Range Rover GT, which certainly I didn't have a clue about. I don't know about you or anyone else. Kept that very hush.
They did keep that quite quiet.
So yeah, big model for Land Rover, and I'm yet to kind of think about what the direction is for that. Whether it's something to boost their sales, or well, it always is, isn't it? But
it's funny.
It's a bit more of a passion project.
I've been seeing this car for months, probably over a year, in JLR factories in around the place, all in camo, all with like big boxes on the side where the windows are, and for like telemetry and other bits and bobs. And I thought it was part of the new Jag range. And I think that's how it's been able to go under the radar so much, because people just thought it was part of this new electric Jag evolution. And no, it's not. It's the Range Rover GT.
Yeah.
But how much do you know about it?
Very little. I saw that they unveiled it online, obviously. I've seen how it looks. But in terms of the stats, I know it's electric, but yeah, stats-wise, not much else.
I think with much of their range, the stuff that's launching or going to be launching is electric, but by the sounds of things, they really want to have a versatile range in respect of each vehicle. They want to have at least electric and fully hybrid, and then others will have engine options too. So that's quite interesting.
Yeah, that's it. That is interesting. I wonder whether it has anything to do with the platform for the Type 01, because it doesn't look a million miles away from it,
potentially.
Does it?
Yeah, potentially. I know there's a couple of platforms they're working on. Like, obviously, they've got a project with Chery in China, which is going to be the base for the new Freelander EV. So that's and I think that's also going to form the same base as this Defender Sport, I think, that's going to be coming out at some point. So yeah, there's loads going on. I've got it somewhere in this report. There's a million different things, but
I wonder where it's going to sit in the lineup in terms of price point. I'm guessing it's going to be quite premium, so it's going to be like Range Rover Sport equivalent, possibly, but a GT.
For me, it kind of seems, from a styling point of view, to just kind of take what the Velar was doing to the next level. So it's a slightly smaller Range Rover, bit sleeker, bit more design focused. The Velar is such a good looking car. I kind of feel like I don't know whether it's replacing that in a way, or whether it fills that same space or what, I don't know.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because the whole world in the last 10 years has just got more and more into SUVs.
Yeah.
And now it's like we're kind of going the other way. It's not a saloon, but it's not a million miles off, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
everything was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it does seem to be coming back a little bit.
Lower.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so out of the blue for me. I've seen at work renders of a previous Land Rover product that was similar, which was scrapped. Don't know how many years ago. But it seems like they've kind of come back to the idea, pulled it out of the box, and been like, okay, let's actually do it.
It seems like they're working on a lot. There's a lot of announcements that are coming. So it's going to be really interesting.
With the Freelander as well, like they're proper diversifying the range and bringing back old models, aren't they?
Yeah. They've got such good branding. They've got such great heritage. And I think a prime example of how they've done it so well is Defender. They've done so well with Defender.
See them everywhere, don't you?
It's unbelievable. It's by far their biggest success.
Yeah. And I'd have one in recent years.
Yeah, they're amazing.
If I could afford it, yeah.
Yeah, they are quite big money, though. I will say they're strong money, but
they are, yeah, because they're quite utilitarian inside.
Yeah, they really are. So we've got Range Rover GT to keep it on Range Rover, Range Rover Electric.
Yes, so that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Range Rover Sport Electric too.
Okay.
By the sounds of things. I think it's all going to be built at Solihull. So is the Jaguar Type 01. So these EV platforms are all going to be built at Solihull, from what I understand. And it's what's interesting is it's going to share the Range Rover's MLA architecture. So it's not like a completely ground up car. It's kind of using its current infrastructure, which is cool. So hopefully that will help from a price point of view. And yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess so. So it could be quite cool. I think they're a bit slow to the game, if I'm honest. Whether it's going to be well timed or what, but I think they could have launched this 3-4 years ago and been very successful with it.
Well, I think we're kind of in that slight dip phase of EVs at the moment, aren't we? But they are definitely starting to pick back up. So yeah, you could argue it's probably bad timing, but we've always been waiting for this car, haven't we? And we've always said that electric in a Range Rover definitely works. And I've certainly opened my eyes to EVs in the last year or two.
Well, I was just going to say, the last 12 months, there has been a shift in just the general reception of EVs in the world. Because 24 months ago, it was, if you were a petrol head, it was the norm to be opposed to EVs. And now, what's hilarious is we're going around Goodwood and half of us are saying, oh yeah, I'd love this combustion engine sports car, but then as a daily, I'd have an Alpine A290 or a Renault 5 or a little electric runabout. And it's like,
100%.
When did that change? Because it's really recent where the kind of rhetoric around electric cars is now not something to be totally just,
I don't know whether it's electric cars getting better, improving the design, improving the range of the battery, and I think maybe some more confidence in the batteries themselves. But whether it's that or whether it's just us gradually subconsciously being drawn down by EVs because we know they're inevitable.
I don't think it's EVs in general. I think what it is has been some manufacturers that have produced an EV that's found its place and knows what it is and isn't trying to be something else. And so those ones, for example, A290, Renault 5, Tesla to a point, they're not trying to be something that they're not. Whereas the ones that are trying to be something else or are trying to replace combustion engine cars are falling flat on the face and people still aren't receptive to them because it's not its own thing. Whereas, I think those that kind of hit the design brief nicely because you have to be inventive because you haven't got character as such from a drivetrain point of view. So you have to get creative. So that's why I think the A290 and the Renault 5 is really cool. Use your back catalogue, but don't do what Ford's done. Like try and use a Mustang, but then make this SUV or the Capri, which were really snazzy, fun cars.
Butcher an old name
in the
plate,
Capri, and then sporty and muscular in the Mustang, and then just use it for the sake of using it.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
No. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see the return of French hot hatches, and then being kind of dominating and actually producing some good cars again, and we'll go full circle in the car world. We'll see. As if China just doesn't do everybody over.
No, it's a bit scary. But when, like last episode, we talked about the MGs. You can see why people are buying them.
Yeah, you can't blame them. And it's not necessarily
European
because of the MGs. It's because of what the Europeans are doing. They've completely opened that gap to them. I'm actually less mad at the Chinese about it because I'm like, actually, the Europeans, you've done it to yourselves.
Yeah, because I think we've both always been in that position of, it sounds harsh, but when I see like an EV like on the road or wherever that's from China, I think like, oh, you
traitor,
bit of a traitor.
Yeah, I do.
But at the end of the day, like you say, like a lot of them are just better products. They're cheaper, and you do feel like the Europeans didn't wake up early enough to it.
And in other ways, you're kind of hypocritical. I mean, okay, I drive a Tesla. It's an American brand, but it's made in China. Where do you think that's made? China.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everything in that respect. So
yeah,
I think it's more because it's a Chinese brand than it is made in China as such. But yeah, I was completely felt the same thing. But if we carry on the new range, I think we've covered most of what's coming. Obviously, you've got the Jaguar, the Type 01, which is going to be a fully electric four-door luxury GT. I thought we would have heard more about it by now. They seem to be dragging their heels on it, so we'll wait and see.
I think obviously there's been a lot of delays from Jaguar. I think they probably would have wanted it hitting roads already.
I think there's a bit of hesitation with regards to EV only. So I know there was talk about them using the same platform and chassis, but putting hybrid options. So I don't know if that's true, or if that's just a rumor, but I did hear it. So
yeah, it just makes me wonder financially how they've just been propped up by Range Rover sales, haven't they? I guess.
Well, it's interesting because I had a look at their sales, and I just wanted to understand: are they a profitable company? What does JLR look like? Because I want them to be successful. It's a British brand that still manufactures and employs, one of the biggest employers around here, if not the biggest employers around here. So I really, really want to be successful. And I look at America and they talk about American excellence and they talk about, growing and building and investing. And I'm like, there's less and less of that going on in the UK. And we can obviously get in the weeds of politics and stuff. But I think when it comes down to energy and the US tariffs, and there's so much that has been against JLR over the last 12, 24 months. Cyber attack was a big one.
Yeah, huge.
But let's have a look at their kind of like sales figures. So like 2024, 2025, so March to March, they sold 428,000 units to customers, and then wholesale units to like dealers and stuff was 400,000. So roughly 830,000 units. It fell from so March 2025 to March 2026 by just the retail alone by 75,000 units. And the wholesale by about 90,000.
15-20%.
Yeah, and then the wholesale fell from 400 to 307,000. That's a massive dip. And what's scary is I think JLR have to sell something like 308,000 units just to start covering costs. And what they want to do with having more of a premium expensive range, whether that be in Range Rover, Defender, so losing some of the budget options, I guess, like Discovery Sport, Evoque, that sort of stuff, going for the more high-end stuff, is that they can, I think what they're trying to do, especially with Jaguar and Defender Range Rover, is reduce the number of units needing to sell to break even, is a strategy that they're working on by the looks of things. Yeah.
Cars,
Yeah. So that was interesting to look at. But I think what was more interesting is the fact that from 2025 to 2026, if you look at the wholesale volume, 80% of it was made up of Range Rover and Defender.
80%.
So Range Rover Sport and Defender.
Yeah. Okay.
And Defender, I think, has been their biggest success. They're obviously massive in North America. That's their biggest market. And then UK, Europe. China has been one of their biggest problems, is that it just keeps dropping. Like 30% 2024 to 2025, I think, and then 5 to 6 is about another 20% dip on top of that.
Their domestic manufacturers taken over, are they?
Yeah, and they're offering really premium stuff at cheaper prices. So yeah, it's kind of the same story across Europe, I guess, but more prevalent in China. But North America is still their biggest market, and I think they're actually going to be developing some new Defenders specifically for the North American market. So watch that space. That could be interesting. There's more about certain regions and stuff, but I won't go into too much detail. Money. Let's talk money. Thought it was really interesting. Have a wild guess, and you might know. What do you reckon year ending March 2025 JLR's revenue was?
Total
revenue.
Total revenue. I would throw a number out there. 30 billion.
Jesus, mate, 29 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a complete guess.
That is a great guess. So that was 2024 to 2025, and they profited after tax about 1.8 billion. So it was one of their strongest years in like a decade. It was a really, really good year. But then they had obviously stuff going on with Jaguar. They had a cyber attack. The markets and everything was just lower. And then, so 2025 to 2026, ending in March, just gone, it dropped from 29 billion to 22.9 billion is revenue. And they actually had a loss of 244 million. But then you can say they have a negative free cash flow of 2.2 billion. So I think they're investing really heavily, I guess, in the new ranges, the new products.
Product development.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll all
probably a lot of new manufacturing lines as well for the EV stuff.
Yeah.
Which is not cheap.
Yeah. I think it was just a tough year. And then Q4 did pick back up again. So, hopefully, US tariffs, they had a massive impact. China was falling and they had a cyber attack. So it was just a perfect storm, and they still kind of somewhat broke even. So yeah, all things good. But I'm really optimistic, to be fair, with the new ranges, the new products, how strong the brands are in Range Rover and Defender. They're two of the strongest brands in the entire car market, if you ask me.
Yeah, certainly in their key markets.
Yeah.
Hard to stop.
But they're obviously too reliant on those 2/3 product ranges. So that's obviously what they're trying to diversify so much. There was obviously quality, warranty, and customer trust issues with like insurance and things going wrong. So that didn't help. EV timetable slipped. And it's all cost, isn't it? So yeah, loads of new cars. Discovery is staying on. So there's going to be, I think that's going to be focused more at like families, the kind of lifestyle camping dogs. But I mean, it's already that anyway, but I think they're going to really go down that route. So I guess Discovery 6 is going to be a thing. We'll see. And that's got to be due, because that's now 10 years old. I think that platform, 10, 12 years old.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And they usually do like a 10, 11 year cycle, don't they? So, but I got to say, one positive about JLR in comparison to these European manufacturers at the moment, in the likes of BMW, Mercedes, Audi, is they're still producing vehicles on those 10-year cycles, whereas BMW is like, it seems like every 3-4 years there's a completely new version of the 3 Series, and it looks completely different, and it makes a 2016 3 Series look like 20 years old.
Yeah.
It makes it look really old and outdated.
The LCI models seem to be so much more dramatic than they used to be.
Yeah. But even like a 2013 Range Rover still looks fairly modern, because they made it up until like 2020. So, there was an evolution, and that, yes, the new Range Rover looks way more modern, but it's not entirely different. It doesn't. Yeah. So, I like what they're doing in that respect. So hopefully they do the same with the Discovery 6, if that's what it's going to be called. What else should I run through on here? There's loads. There's lots. Have you got any other bits on it?
I haven't, mate. No. Just kind of. It's just. I feel like it's a pivotal time for JLR.
Really is.
And so I thought it was worth having a quick.
But I think they're on the right side of it. I think they're on the right side of the pivot. I think they're going to do well. I really hope they do.
Yeah, like you say, diversifying. Jaguar is yet to be proven, but there will be people buying them, I'm sure. And I hope it is a good car, even though it is EV and the size of a boat.
It's going to be good, man.
But yeah,
I'm positive. I'm optimistic. Shall I read you ChatGPT's overall verdicts?
Please do.
says JLR is fundamentally valuable but currently fragile. It owns two genuinely world-class commercial assets in Range Rover and Defender. Those brands give it pricing power that many large manufacturers would envy. However, the 2025-2026 financial year exposed how quickly JLR's profitability can disappear when production tariffs and market conditions turn against it. I guess energy is going to be a massive thing for them as well. So yeah, they're things to consider. Jaguar is the wild card. It's either a courageous reinvention that gives JLR a third highly profitable luxury brand, or an extremely expensive attempt to create an entirely new customer base while abandoning much of the old one. So the first production Jaguar Type 01, rather than advertising campaign, will provide the real answer.
When's that set for production?
It's set for release this year, so I guess next year, 2028 delivery, maybe 2027, late 2027. But who knows? Because I think it was supposed to be unveiled by now.
Yeah, that was always my understanding. I thought they'd be, like you say, delivering end of this year.
Yeah.
But there we go. Good luck.
Nice. Shall we run into a couple of those questions I was talking about earlier?
Yeah, do it.
Let's start with, because we kind of touched on it already. Has social media ruined car culture? What are your initial thoughts?
I think it's a really good question. I think, as I often do, I'm probably going to sit on the fence here because on one hand, you've got, what are we doing right now? We're talking about cars on social media. So there's only so much we could say negatively about it. But I think there's definitely elements of it that I think it has impacted the industry negatively, and maybe the culture and the enthusiasts. I think firstly being, like you talked about at the start with your Jag, the aspiration, never being satisfied with what you got. There always being a nice car out there because you can access it within 5 seconds of turning your phone on.
That, and the comparison that, there's a 22-year-old that's got a Lamborghini. Why, I'm not successful because I've only got an F-Type or an M2 or not even that. It's like, it's the comparison is the thief of joy, isn't it? That's what they say.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what is really highlighted in the car world anyway, is that kind of flashiness of and the pretentiousness of owning certain vehicles.
Yeah, and owning them for the wrong reasons. Not being a genuine enthusiast and enjoying the car for what it is, just putting the biggest wheels you can find on it and and showing the whole world. So I think that's one element that kind of detracts from the industry. But I think that it's not just the automotive industry, is it? It's everything. It's fashion, it's holidays, it's lifestyle. So social media is
everything, and
is a culprit.
It's obviously going to bleed into every market and every interest, and it's kind of that. It happened to start a long time ago, probably close to 10 years ago now, where you've got these YouTubers or YouTube wannabes that are buying cars not to drive but to post or to make content on. And so what I found myself doing is actually watching certain YouTubers, creators, so much less, and there being a really, really minute handful of genuine car enthusiast content creators. For me, the best example is Seen Through Glass. He is so genuine, in my opinion, in his content. I know he's a bit of a Marmite character, but JWD is a complete sellout. So is Paul Wallace. The kind of whole clickbait stuff. Archie Hamilton is all everything that I don't like about everything that the car community was often kind of protecting. It was his own little thing that it wouldn't be as affected by some of the mainstream stuff going on. And because social media has kind of made everything more mainstream, it's then tarnished with the same problems. I think
that's been going on for a while though, isn't it? I remember the old YouTube days, it's a bit more social media than YouTube now, but
it's a bit more, it used to be a bit more authentic. And that's not just in the content that was created. It was the relationships that people had on camera. It's all so fake and false. Everything's so staged and set up. And why does every single person think they need to do a 30-second walk round clip and give us the 0 to 60? And you saw it go around the Goodwood Festival of Speed now. No one's actually looking and talking about cars. They're just trying to film it and put it on their fucking Instagram and have this kind of one take clip. I'm the next Shmee, and it's like, just go and enjoy the festival, man. There's some really cool cars around.
Not that I'd ever be an influencer by its kind of definition, but I would think I'd really struggle with that. I generally don't take pictures or videos. I just go and enjoy stuff.
Yeah.
Holidays, events, whatever, festivals.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some people that just all they do is take photos to post on Instagram later. I'm like, are you going to like live in the moment?
Yeah. Or just have a selfie stick and start recording a video and be like, giving a run through of the car. It's like, no one cares about your opinion or what you have to say about the car.
Well, it's each to their own. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of people's careers.
The problem. It's not even their opinion. They're just giving stats and facts about the car, and you get the same video about the same car from 40 different content creators. Be creative. Do something different. It annoys me. And I think that side of it, and because you get a lot of views and success from it sometimes, if you're as clickbaity as you possibly can, you then get opportunities. And it's like there's a girl, you've probably seen her, called Over in the Rover. She's called Tatty, and she creates some really, really cool content. It's like really genuine, nice content about her and a little Defender, or what, I don't even know if it's classed as a Defender. It's like pre-Defender, but is Defender. I don't really know. But even she now is like going to Spa with Williams F1 and being in the pits, and it's just like, you used to create such good content, and I get that you make money from it and that you can create, have a good living from it. But I'm just like, I like the genuine content, but I guess that doesn't pay. That's the problem.
That's it. That's probably what it's down to. Not that I would know.
Yeah,
but I think there's definitely that element of authenticity that we lose more year on year. But I think there are some pros. There's some good things about it. I think for me, I discover a lot of cars and a lot of news and facts and updates about cars that I wouldn't otherwise see. So it's good in that sense.
And when I had social media, which is ironic because we do a podcast, but when I did have it, and the thing that kept me downloading it again and again was our Instagram chat about cars. It was you, me, your brother and Jake in there, and we just post stuff about cars, whether that be cool specs that we find, or videos, or memes, or news. And that was a really positive thing, a really, really good thing, because we were quite selective about what we put in there, what we see, what's worth putting in there. And so it ended up actually being a bit of a curation of really cool car stuff. So for that reason, it's great. The access to stuff is also great. I do think there's an element of it that it kind of makes things less special, or whether that's makes everybody feel like their cars aren't as special, or even to the point of when I was a kid and I would see an F430 drive past, I would be like, oh my God, I'd want to chase it down the street. When I had my little 50cc motorbike, my first little motorbike, I met it with a friend on a scooter in the local town, and there was a BMW i8, and it was when they first came out, and it was like this supercar. We were like 16, and we chased it around the town on our little mopeds. If we saw any cool car, an M car, an F430, for example, it was like, oh my God, it was so exciting. It's so good to see. Now I see like I saw, what did I see? A 458 go past today. And I'm like, it's a really nice car. But everything's so dulled down because you're just so exposed and so overstimulated by Koenigsegg and Chirons and, all this sort of stuff. That's the only stuff that gets clicks now, is the biggest, most expensive stuff. And that's why, what's the chap that does all the restorations on crashed cars? Matt Armstrong.
Matt Armstrong, yeah.
Yeah, why he's so successful is because he just does the biggest clickbaity, biggest title, most expensive cars. That's all it is. There's no, I'm going to criticize someone that's very successful, and I'm no one and nothing compared to him in the space, but it's just not authentic. It's not real. It's just all staged and set up and fake, and I don't like it. Well, that's my opinion. Not that it really counts for anything, but
yeah, I'm sure there's lots of people that disagree with you, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm kind of.
He's far more successful than me, so
Yeah. All these hypercars on social media, it does kind of make you want to touch grass again, and this is like the whole social media story But I say that as in like touch grass, as in like I actually now start to appreciate the older classic stuff, the stuff with more timeless design that isn't necessarily in the limelight.
Also, stuff that's special not because it's £1 million, but because it's got a cool feature, or it's like a bit quirky and snazzy,
Or a story.
Yeah, or I start to appreciate now like either a restored or really well looked after Mark 1 Golf. I'm like, that's really cool. I get excited about that now. Whereas there was a period of time where you're so exposed to all these things that none of it really has an impact. So I'm quite glad that being off social media helps. That's why I watched none of the build up to Goodwood. I just wanted to go and see and experience the cars and enjoy them and be wowed by them, feel like a child, because it can do that. I mean, when we first were going to Cafe and Machine, that was like massive inspiration. A chap would turn up in a 2008 R8. At the time, it was almost a 20-year-old car. Well, not 20 years old, but 15 years old. And it was like, oh, mate, I'd love to own one of those. And it was aspiration. Whereas now you just see everything online constantly. So, yeah,
it loses its touch a bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, just like kind of back to the kind of cars with stories. And I got an Uber from work to BMW to pick my car up. This week went in for a brake service. And this chap picked me up in an E-Class. I was like, this is quite nice for a standard Uber.
Yeah.
And then he saw that he was obviously taking me to BMW. So we got on the subject of cars and I told him what I've got and stuff. And he was clearly massive petrol head. And we kind of just started talking cars. And then he's told me he had an Evo 9. And then he starts going on about kind of cars and stories and stuff. And he's like, goes on to subjects of like the Lotus Carlton.
Yeah.
And he's on about like all the back in the day they had a reputation like for like evading police and like stories about robbers using them, and the police tried to ban the car and stuff. And that just like instantly like appeals to me in terms of like a car with a reputation and a story.
I wonder how many of kind of today's cars will have reputation and character like previous cars did.
Yeah, I think it's always like better back in the day, isn't it? I feel like for us, that's kind of it now, isn't it?
Well, do you know what's interesting? That's actually an element of the Jag conversation. It is actually almost too good. It's such a good car. It's so capable. If you want it quiet, you can have it quiet. If you want it comfortable, you can have it comfortable. If you want it loud and you want it to handle well, you can have that. You have a really good sound system. The seats are really, really comfy. It does 38 miles to the gallon if you wanted to. It makes an amazing noise, or you can just have it quiet and relaxed and enjoy it. It's got a decent enough boot. It looks amazing. And there's almost like no flaws. There's nothing to, sometimes the imperfections are what makes it perfect.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think if you were to brief that to a manufacturer, they'd be like, I don't know what to say to that. We're just trying to make good cars. But it is true at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
You've done it. Congratulations. Like, you've made an incredible car. Well done. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Make it worse.
Make it shitter, please.
I think it's a good point. And I think a lot of people, certainly people more mechanically minded than me anyway, like a car that they have to maintain and look after. Me, not so much, just because I'm fucking useless. But I think people like having a car that kind of keeps you on your toes a bit, and you have to check it every now and then, make sure it's not losing oil, blah blah. Definitely, a lot of people.
I don't think having a completely unreliable car is all that fun, but having a car that you have to maintain, and if you do it correctly, it is reliable. Then I think that's quite good.
There's rewards to be had for that. Yeah,
just having a completely unreliable car that could just go wrong at any moment, I don't think it's fun for anybody.
No, definitely not. Any other questions you got along those lines? I feel like
one of them was actually, are modern cars actually too good? But I kind of answered that with the Jag. It is almost too good. I think same with your M2, same with a lot of these cars have had to do so many different things in one that they actually are a bit too good, especially if it's like going to be your fun car or your nice car.
I was going to say, like if it is your only car, then that's not always a bad thing, is it?
What's interesting as well is Amy loves the Jag. She's like already going to be sad when it goes, which is quite nice. She's like, I get why we're selling it, or we're going to be selling it, but I'm going to be really, really sad because she loves the car. She was like, oh, in the future, can we get another one? So yeah, she's like, oh, can it be my car? So yeah, it's really quite nice. And I think if I'm at a point where I could keep it in a garage and it just be a Sunday car, driving it a mile to work just seems like such a waste.
Yeah,
so
I could get on. I can understand you with that one. Yeah.
So there's an element of that. But yeah, if I can have a garage and I have a car that I can just do like I'm doing this Sunday, going out for a spin, going out to Cornwall, it doesn't matter if it sits there. So I've just got to get to a point where I can have a F-Type SVR in the garage just whenever I want. Because I'll have another F-Type for sure. It's an amazing car.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have to get the V8 next time.
I think so. But we'll see. Watch this space. So that was another question. And then the only other one was, when does a car become part of your life story? And we kind of talked about that already in different aspects, whether that be timelines that you look at your life and you kind of associate it to certain cars, or aspirations of cars, or things that you go and do in cars, and trips and camping and all this other stuff. But I think once you do stuff in cars, like Goodwood, like going down to Cornwall, like camping, that's what then it becomes part of your life, and it's more than just something that gets you to work.
I think so, yeah. It sounds a bit soft saying this, but it's kind of like the memories you make in the car, I guess, is what defines the car itself, and like what kind of has that that heartthrob of thinking back to it and stuff like that. I
want to race you, but you're completely right.
Yeah. I think back to like when I had the John Cooper Works and you had the Porsche. Obviously, both of our first two proper cars that we bought, and like some of the trips we went on in those to Wales and stuff.
I still look at that Wales. I look back at that Wales trip, and I still think it's my favourite road trip. Maybe it's because it was it was our first ever road trip. The weather was great. We're in those cars. They made hilarious noises. And we're with our like new girlfriends at the time, and just everything. It was like
which are still our girlfriends, by the way.
Well, yeah. One's wife. We both bought houses, and yeah. So actually, I think we've got to thank the Mini and the Porsche.
Absolutely.
And then let's run some four quick fire questions off the top of your head. You ready? Finish on. Oh no, we still got Dream Car Garage for you to do. Shit. Okay. How much power is enough?
300 horsepower.
Mate, that's insane. I've literally wrote 300 horsepower.
Really?
And I thought it doesn't matter whether it's a sports car or it's a luxury SUV or a Defender, 300 horsepower is just a really good number.
It is a nice number.
Yeah. Nice. I'm glad we agree on that. How much money is enough?
On a car?
On a car.
30 grand.
Nice.
We've proven that.
Yeah, we have proved that. How many cars are enough? I'm going to go with 3. Is there actually an end point for enthusiasts? I'm going to answer that already and say no, never.
Absolutely not. It's like within a month buying a car, you just on auto trader just having a browser.
You can't help it, man. And actually, search for car. I'm already looking at Defenders. Amy's talking about changing the Tesla lease ends next August, so I'm like already looking at Velas and Range Rover Sports and like already like replacement cars. We're not going to be replacing it for 12 months. So, but I love
at your next
looking
lease.
at it. Yeah, no, that one won't be. We'll come out of that.
Okay.
It was just for that one car because of putting it through the business and stuff. And the benefits of doing so that don't exist anymore. But searching for cars, man, such an auto trader, just the best.
Dangerous game.
It really is. Those are my 4 quick fire. Well done. Let's have your quick fire.
Dream Car Garage made up on the spot.
Because we've never had an episode without one, and we're not going to start now.
I feel like we have had episodes out, but we'll say we haven't.
We need to I need to look through and do like a quick reel of every Dream Car Garage.
Skip to the end. Yeah. My Dream Car Garage is you've been gifted a 981 Cayman GT4. Just gifted. Shout out the kind nature of one of your friends.
Nice.
Or someone you know.
You're going to tell me you've won the lottery and there's a GT4 on the way?
No, unfortunately not. But yeah, I'm reversing it here because I'm interested.
All right.
You've got your lovely weekend car. You store it away in a garage over the winter. but you've got to have a daily.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a budget, a quite strict budget of £12,000
Okay.
for a daily. So that's got to cover stuff like camping trips, road trips, daily commuting, city driving, bits and bobs. Might need it to shuffle stuff around.
Okay.
What are you going to pick? 12 grand.
Do you know what? Because I've got a GT4, I'm not fussed about anything flashy at all, or even sporty. I'm going to go with, because for 12 grand, you can get a very nice petrol Golf. I'm just going to buy a Golf.
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy not a GTI, not an R. I'm just going to buy a kind of 20, I don't know what it would be, 15, 14.
Mark
Golf.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark 6, maybe Mark 7.
Yeah, Mark 7, sorry.
Yeah, probably a Mark 7. Yeah, early Mark 7. That's what I'm going to buy. I'm just going to buy a petrol, like maybe a 2-litre Golf. Might be like a 1.6. I don't know. I'm not that fussed. I've got a GT4. I'm just going to buy
I do want to have a Golf one day. It's on the bucket list.
Yeah, it is. For
don't
me
know what
too.
form. Probably a GTI.
Well, I'm thinking for AIM as a runabout, when we get rid of this Tesla, I'm going to have the Defender, get a little Golf runabout. I actually broached the topic of an 8090 because she likes electric cars now. She never has to go to a petrol station. Yeah. So I'm like,
Mate, I'd love an 8090, I tell you.
Yeah, cool.
I was going more, and you'll have to correct me on this, it'll probably be a bit of a banger, but an old Defender.
Yeah, they're holding quite strong money. It's going to be a rust bucket for 12 grand.
Yeah, I was thinking
a little bit,
100k plus. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's not that bad. Most of them are 100,000 miles. You can find ones, a kind of 2005 with 50,000-60,000 miles. They're like 25 grand. Your average probably looking at 16, 17 for an okay one. As soon as you get them with like galvanized chassis, you're closer to 20 and beyond.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a bit of a crazy market. Defenders. I don't really know what I'm looking at.
You can get them for that, but they're usually one that's been on a farm, it's completely battered, and it's done 150,000 miles.
Cheap shit or something. Yeah. Maybe that's not the best way to go. Then I think a Golf's a good shout. I would probably, if I was to get a Golf, I'd probably lean more towards like a Mark 5 GTI, like a clean Mark 5. You could
go for previous generation Range Rover, like quite a high mile one, like early one, like 2012. I reckon you could probably, that's a high mileage one is probably get, I mean, you'd be constantly in the garage.
That's crazy, isn't it? Same as a Mark 7 Golf.
4.4 litre SD V8 Vogue SE with 102,000 miles, 2013 is 11.5 grand.
That is unbelievable.
Crazy, right?
That must have been 100 grand new.
99,000 miles, 2015, 3 litre TD V6 Vogue. Holy shit, there's a 3 litre TD V6 autobiography, so like top spec, one owner from new with 147,000 miles. It is 13 grand.
Wow.
For an autobiography. It's done some miles, but chances are it's just like motorway miles and it'll be fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah, so you could get a very nice either V8 or V6 Range Rover, and they still look pretty modern. There's a lovely green over tan digital dash. It's got all the spec you want. Oh, wow. Mate, bargain.
There you go. Is that if you swap pick then?
Yeah.
You've just sold yourself.
It is actually a better pick. Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
That might be your next car.
You're not wrong.
That one owner from new is your next car.
Oh, man. Really quite nice. So much out there. Dude, I really enjoyed that. That was a good episode. Thank you to everybody that is still listening to our waffle and ramble. We will hopefully catch you rather than 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We'll try and catch you in a week.
In one.
Cheers, dude.
Nice one.